We are continuing the chapter Rectification of Errors. We will work out now illustration 5, which is almost similar to what we did before. So, illustration 5, page number 17.17, rectify the following errors. So, we know the format. We have to draw 3 columns. First, correct entry, wrong entry, rectification. The same thing we will be doing here. The first transaction, wages paid for the construction of office debited to wages account 20,000. Okay, so we will draw the format and then we will record the entries. We will draw one serial number column also. So, here it is wages paid for construction of office debited to wages account. We know that it is a type of capital expenditure. So, capital expenditure must be debited to that fixed assets account. And here the fixed asset name is, you can write office account, or it is actually the building which they are trying to mention. So, as they have written in the solution, we can write the correct entry, office account or building account debtor to cash account, and the amount is given there as 20,000. See, if you look into the solution, they haven't given the format like this. They have followed only the rectification entry format. They have only this column, but I want you to write all these 3 columns. From the very first question, we are following this format. Till the end of the chapter, you should follow the same thing. Textbook, they have mentioned or they have written only the rectification entries, but it's difficult, you will make mistake if you write the rectification entry directly. So, better you write all these 3. Okay. Then wrong entry, wages paid, as you people write, the firm would have written like wages account debtor to cash account. The amount is same, yes, it is 20,000. Now we will do rectification part. See, building account is to be debited. Did we debit buildings account? No. So, we will debit buildings now with 20,000. So, we will write building account debtor 20,000. Then, it is to cash, that means cash is to be credited. Here also we have credited cash. So, there is no mistake with respect to cash account. So, no need to do rectification. Look into the wrong entry column again. We have wages account which we debited wrongly, that we have to cancel now. So, we will write it as to wages account 20,000. So, that is how we are getting the rectification entry, building account debtor to wages account 20,000. Understood? The next one is, all these entries are similar. And all these entries are, all these errors are errors of which error? It is error of principle, because we have to consider this as a capital expenditure, but you considered it as a revenue expenditure. It is against the accounting principle. So, this is an error of principle. All these are errors of principle. Okay, and they are not asking you to identify the type of error. So, even if you do not understand which error is this, that is okay. You just try to rectify the errors. Okay. Yes. So, after this we will draw a line. We will close the first transaction. The next one is cartage paid for the newly purchased furniture ₹500 posted to cartage account. Okay. So, it is cartage paid, that means it is the transportation expenses which you paid when you purchase furniture. So, what is the correct journal entry? Which account we have to debit actually? The furniture account we have to debit. So it is furniture account debtor to cash account, and the amount is 500. But instead of that, we would have written like cartage account debtor to cash account. Now itself you can write the rectification entry. It has become familiar to you now. So it is, what should be the correct entry? I mean the rectification entry will be like furniture account debtor, because we haven't debited it yet. So we will debit furniture, then cash, there is no mistake. So nothing to be done with cash, cartage is to be cancelled. So finally your rectification entry will be like furniture account debtor to cartage account. When it is error of principle, it is easier for you to write the rectification entry. Anyways, there won't be compound entries usually for errors of principle. The third one, 5,000 paid for installation of machinery debited to wages account. So which account we have to debit actually? It is the machinery account which we have to debit. So your entry, the correct entry will be like machinery account debtor to cash account. The amount is 5,000. Then we debited it to wages account, so it became wages account debtor to cash account. The amount is the same, 5,000. So the rectification part you can answer now, that will be building account debtor to wages account. So that is 5,000. Okay, building debtor to wages, that's the answer. I mean the rectification part. Then, is it the machinery which we purchased? Actually, sorry, this is the machinery which we purchased. So, you write it as machinery account, so, not building account. It is machinery which we purchased. So, write it as machinery account debtor to wages. Then the next one, machinery purchased was passed through the purchaser's book. So when you purchase a fixed asset, what should be the correct entry? That should be same as above. It is machinery account debtor to cash account. Amount is 50,000. But instead of that, what did we do? We have recorded it in purchaser's book. So we would have considered it as good instead of fixed asset. So your entry, the wrong entry would be purchaser's account debtor to cash account, because in purchaser's book we will be recording only credit purchase of goods. So purchases debtor to cash, that is again a mistake actually. Purchaser's book we will not write it as to cash, only credit purchases will be written. So that is the mistake here, and instead of machinery you debited purchases. Now what will be the rectification here? That will be machinery account debtor to purchases account. The amount is 50,000. The last one, old furniture sold for rupees 5,000 was passed through the sales book. Okay, so we are selling a furniture, so that is again a fixed asset, but we recorded it in sales book. We considered it as goods, sale of goods. So the entry would be like, is it cash sales? Yes, for rupees 5,000, nothing is mentioned, so we can write it as cash sales. Cash account debtor to, you can write old furniture or simply furniture, both are correct. 5,000. but when we recorded it in sales book, it would be recorded like this: cash account debtor to sales account. The amount is 5,000. The same. Now you just look into the correct entry. Cash account is to be debited, that we have done correctly. So there is no need of rectification. Now furniture account is to be credited. We haven't credited it yet, so we will credit it now. Write it as to furniture 5,000. Then sales account is to be cancelled actually, because this is a wrong credit given. So we will debit it. So this would be your rectification. Sales account debtor to furniture account 5,000. Okay, so this is how you have to do the rectification for errors of principle. As I told you already, no need to identify the type of error, but you must be able to write these rectification entries. We will work out illustration number 6. The first transaction, okay, you draw a separate format for that. Okay, the first transaction, credit sale of rupees 5,000 to Ram, omitted to be recorded in the books. So we have to record it in sales book actually, because it is a credit sale of goods to Ram. It's not mentioned like goods, but we can assume, like, since there is no fixed asset mentioned, we can assume it as sale of goods. So we are selling on credit basis to Ram, and it has not been recorded in the books. So this is, it's given there within brackets, this is error of omission. We are forgetting, or we are not recording some transactions in the books of accounts, that is error of omission, and this is error of complete omission. Sometimes we would record it in journal, but we would have not posted it into ledger. That is error of partial omission, but here this is error of complete omission. How will you do the correct entry and wrong entry? Is there any wrong entry actually? No, because we haven't recorded anything in the books. Then correct entry and the rectification entry will be same. Since we haven't recorded anything, what we have to record, that is called the correct entry, that is same as the rectification entry. So in these type of questions, you need to write only the rectification entry. Let these two columns be blank and you write the rectification entry only. So here it is, credit sale of 5,000 to Ram. What is the normal journal entry? When you sell on the basis of credit, the debtor will be debited, the customer will be debited. So that is Ram's account debtor to sales account. We don't have any correct and wrong entry. Ram's account debtor to sales, the amount is 5,000. Then second one is goods taken by the proprietor were not recorded anywhere. Okay, so goods taken by the proprietor means that is like drawings, and it has not been recorded anywhere means you are going to record it now. There is no rectification part, there is no correct entry and wrong entry. We are just writing the rectification entry because we haven't done anything before. So this is again error of omission. All these are errors of omission. So we are going to record it. It will be, it is the goods which the proprietor takes. So we will write it as like drawings account debtor to purchases account. Drawings account debtor to purchases account, the amount is 2,000. Then the next one, goods sold to Hari, on credit, omitted from the accounts, again it is error of omission, although cash received subsequently from him stands posted to his credit. Meaning is, you sold some goods to Hari. Okay, what will be the entry? It will be Hari's account debtor to sales, which you have not recorded in the books. Okay, but after that, after you sell something, I mean you will be getting the money after some days, like since it is on credit basis, after some days you will be getting the money back. That time you have recorded one entry like cash account debtor to Hari's account, and that entry you have recorded correctly. There is no mistake with respect to that entry. Understood? That is what they have mentioned as second sentence. Cash received subsequently from him stands posted to his credit. That means Hari's account we have credited. When you receive cash from Hari, the normal journal entry is cash account debtor to Hari's account, which we have recorded. No mistake with respect to that. What we haven't recorded is regarding the sales. So, we will record it now. So, errors of omission, there will not be any correct entry and wrong entry, or correct entry you can write, but same as rectification. So, it is not needed. You need to write only once. So, Hari's account debtor to sales account, the amount is 350. Then fourth one, credit sale of old furniture to Mahesh for rupees 500, omitted to be posted. You must read each and every word of your question very carefully. Here it is written omitted to be posted. The meaning is you have recorded it correctly in journal. The only thing is we didn't post it into ledger. Only the posting process we have to do now. But now what are we doing? Are we posting into ledger accounts now? No, we are doing the rectification by passing journal entries. But in this particular transaction, journal entry is correct. So, what should we do? Will there be any rectification entry? No, because journal entry you have done correctly, so no need of any rectification. And the posting we will do later. Now, we are not discussing about the posting of ledger accounts. We are just writing the journal entry correction now. So, what you have to write is no journal entry since it has been correctly recorded in journal, and the mistake is with respect to posting into ledger. That is the sentence you have to write. So, here you can just rub these lines. We do not have any correct entry, wrong entry and rectification entry, and you write here. No journal entry is passed since the entry has been, you can continue, since the entry has been correctly recorded in journal, and mistake is with respect to posting into ledger accounts. Okay, so that is the answer, and no journal entry, that is your answer. At least that you must write. Though you do not write the entire sentence, just write no journal entry is passed. That is enough. Now, for your exam also you must write like this. I mean, if you get such a question, you should have such an answer in your particulars column. Don't leave it as blank column. Understood? Don't assume like if you leave it as blank column also that examiner would take it as no journal entry. No, it is not like that. You have to specify. If your answer is no journal entry, that you must write. Don't leave it as blank column, you will not get marks. Okay, so that is fourth one. Then fifth one, on 31st March 2019, goods of value of 3000 returned by Hari were taken into stock on same date, but no entry was passed in the books. That means Hari has returned the goods back to the firm. We sold it first to Hari, now Hari is returning to us. And you haven't recorded the entry in the books. That is the no entry was passed. That is the question. So, what will be the journal entry when it is returned back by the customer? It is sales returns account debtor, or you can write it as like it is given in the illustration, I mean in the solution, it is returned inwards account debtor to who is returning, what is his name? Hari's account. So it is your correct entry and rectification entry same, that is sales returns, or you can use the term return inwards, account debtor to Hari's account. The amount is 3000. Okay, so with that the question is over. Yes. So this is how we have to do the rectification of error of omission. We don't have any correct entry, wrong entry and all. Even if you write correct entry, it will be same as rectification part. Okay, so it's easy, but again you have to think whether it is error of posting or error of recording and all. If it is error of posting, you don't have any journal entry to be written. Okay, so practice it.